Hello guys, welcome to your first video over database normalization and organization. First thing I wanted to say is that I'm sorry I have just a chalkboard. I know everybody hates chalkboards and they're loud, you write on them, but that's all I got for now. And later I'll be on the computer showing you some stuff so you won't have to worry about it. And I'll do my best to show my examples good on here. So the first thing you need to know is, what is a database? Well, a database just basically stores organized data. Well, it's usually organized. Some cases it's not so much. Alright, so that's pretty much about all. And then also, you may think of like something that stores data, like Excel or Access. Well, you're right, that's a great example. But this is for more in-depth, larger groups of data. Okay, databases, they store data in what they call tables. And I know you probably can't read this, but this is the best I can do. A table stores related data. So let's say you have a website, and it's a social website. You may have a table for everybody's user information. So their username or password or email. And then you may have another table for all the messages or comments. So let's just say messages that they've ever sent. I may be spelled wrong, I'm not real sure. So this is how databases organize data. So the next thing I'll be doing is giving you a quick example on a small database. Username and password. So let's say you have a website. A good username would be Caleb the Video Maker. And my password, that's just cheesecake. Don't tell anybody. I'm just kidding. So you're thinking, this does look a lot like Access or Excel or whatever the program is. And you are right, but it's just not as organized once you get into larger groups of data. So what you call these are columns right here. So let's say you have another username. I'll just make it simple. Jim, and his password is pizza. Alright, so now these are rows. So you just got to remember that a column is an individual group of data, like just the usernames, just the passwords, and the rows are each individual entry. Most databases will have what they call as an ID. So the ID will keep each row unique forever. So this one will have an ID of 1, and this one will have an ID of 2. So if you say, oh, what's the entry of ID 1? His name's Caleb, username's Caleb the Video Maker, password is cheesecake. When designing tables, a more common way to draw it would be like this. Let's say you have a table for books. You name the table name up here, and then you write each individual column down here. So, book ID. So this would be like 1, 2, and so on, up into however many books you have in the database. And the reason for this is it'll keep each entry unique. Because let's say you have a title of something, and you'd say that could be a good way to keep them unique, except what if you have 2 books with the same title? It could be a very broad title, and then you have a problem because you're not sure which book it is, and you have to go look at the other information. Basically, this keeps everything unique. This right here would be called the primary key. This is a very important term, and you need to memorize that. Put it in your brain. Alright, now that you know basics of what a database is, I'm going to be showing you some problems that occur with databases. Alright, here's a basic table. We have the columns and then each row. Alright, it seems good. Have the book title and the author and the book ID. Now the problem is, what if this book had more than one author? What if you had 4 authors? Alright? So I'll be showing you what this would look like. Okay guys, now you can see that Mastering Physics has the 4 authors. What's the problem here? You can see that Mastering Physics is listed 4 times. That is a lot of useless information, because that's 3 boxes here you don't need. And also, you can see that Mastering Physics now has 4 book IDs. That takes 3 book IDs away from a different book. And also, now, it's not technically unique because 2 and 1 are exactly the same. So 1 equals 2. The only difference, that's not true. The only difference is there's a different author. So that's kind of confusing. Are these different books, or are they the same book with 2 authors? That is why this design is bad. And that is what we call normalization. Normalization is reducing redundancies in data and also preventing it. So how could you solve this? Well, that is something we'll cover in a future video, and I hope to see you there. So thank you for watching my introduction to databases, and I'll see you soon.